But let's focus on this since we'll be watching the gameplay of this from Sunny's Weekly last Tuesday, which I went 5-1 in. So the theory of this deck is Zacian Zamazenta was the #1 most popular deck and also performing very well. How do you beat Zacian Zamazenta? Well, doing 130 for a single energy attachment on a fire Pokemon to one-shot either of them is great. To one-shot Zamazenta with this guy, though, you need Path to the Peak. So we're going to focus on a deck that does not use rule box abilities and does not need Tower of Waters to function. So we're using Path to the Peak instead. You also need Tool Jammers, so we played 2 Tool Jammers in here because Zacian Zamazenta plays 4 Toughness Cape, so that's very important as well. This kind of toolbox deck that I wanted that can take care of the weakness of Zacian deck, plus Urshifu decks, plus Suicune, and also just clean up things that I hit for 130 multiple times, all at the same time with Crossfist. This couldn't fit an Inteleon line in it, or at least a thick Inteleon line. So that's why we went with Cinccino. Another thing is I want to be able to heal my board with Cheryl most of the time, or not most of the time, but I want in most games I want there to be at least one turn where I get value out of Cheryl. But if I'm just playing Rapid Strikes with Octillery, this Cheryl is just going to sit into my deck until I happen to top deck it. So I needed some extra dig with Cinccino. Cinccino also discards energies so that I can then accelerate them with Blaziken VMAX. Now, what Birdkeeper does for me is it allows me to basically cheat extra cards into my deck. Because if I was playing 3 Marnie, the default 1 Corinna because I'm playing Octillery, and then let's say 3 Research, I have to cut 3 cards to get 3 Switch into my deck, or I have to cut 2 cards to get a Switch and a Balloon or something into my deck. So we play Birdkeeper because it serves multiple purposes, and we can get these multiple purposes all back with 1 Pal Pad instead of trying to add more of all of them into the deck. So if there's a game where we need to play 4 Boss's Orders, it's possible to because of the 1 Pal Pad. And it's also possible to draw into these cards because we can have multiple Cinccinos getting set up. And if we're playing against a deck that snipes the bench, like Rapid Strike Urshifu, that's fine, because if they pick off our Minchinos or our Remoraid's or whatever, all we really need to do is set up a Sylveon and we're steamrolling through them. Is Corinna worth it? It's worth it just because you can search it with Octillery. So having Octillery down and Rapid Strike search saying, hey, I can get you a supporter at any point as long as Corinna is in the deck, that's what makes it worth it. If you're not running Octillery, then Corinna is never worth it. Just make it like a Research or something. Jolteon, I think it's a bad matchup. Jolteon should be fine because they do such little damage. Like, in theory, they could hit your Blaziken 3 times and still not knock it out, and it gives you so many chances to find your Cheryl. And you can also just, like, 2-shot them with Sylveon. And so also another point is, we don't mind hard retreating because of Cheryl and because of Max Blaze. Like, they just work so well together. Like, we don't mind hard retreating, discarding a Rapid Strike energy to go into a different Blaziken, then Cheryling everything away, then just attaching a new Rapid Strike energy and Max Blaze. It's like nothing ever happened. So we don't need Balloon, we don't need Switch, we don't need Rapid Tower for these plays, because we can just retreat, attach, get on with our lives there. We don't need the tower, so that's where Path to the Peak comes into play. Path to the Peak is also what is going to try to help us do well against Shadow Rider, but this was a very specified deck built to beat Zacian and built to beat Rapid Strike. Suicune Ludicolo sounds like an auto loss. So Suicune Ludicolo is why, so this can help versus Suicune Ludicolo. Like, you can hit the Suicune once with this, set up double Zeraora, and then Zeraora knock out Suicune, knock out something else, then next turn, like, gust up something, knock out with Zeraora with the other one, if you can just power up 2 Zeraoras at the same time with Blaziken. But this is that, remember, keep in mind that's the list we're going to watch some gameplay of. But for the next tournament I ended up playing in, I think was, yeah, the chill tournament the next day, I played this list because this list actually has a better matchup versus Suicune. So with this list, and you'll also notice that Tower of Waters is here in this list, but not the other one, and it's here for a calculated reason. That with the Urshifu, so just a single Urshifu V solves Jolteon for us, because now they have to fear this single Urshifu V's 100 Furious Blows. Like, we swing Max Blaze, Accelerate, any kind of energy to it, then that's threatening a knockout next turn. But G-Max Rapid Flow is an ideal first attacker against Suicune Ludicolo, because you hit the active Suicune and you hit so you hit the active Suicune, then you hit a Ludicolo or a Lotad, knock out the Lotad. They hit into your Urshifu. This is where Tower of Waters comes in, because we need to search this out with our artillery to retreat our Urshifu into Blaziken. And we can also use Birdkeeper for that if we have to artillery for the rapid energy, but Tower of Waters gives us the option to free retreat and Cheryl, and then Max Blaze following the rapid flow. Then they knock out the Blaziken, then we Zeraora, and then from there we never lose if that all works out. So the 1/1 Urshifu VMAX is not just to hit fighting weakness, and it's not just to hit Sobble's Drizziles. It's specifically also for the Suicune Ludicolo matchup, because pairing this with Zeraora is better than just having two Zeraoras. Now, I would have played a Ditto V in this list, but a Ditto V would just, you know, a lot of times we're sticking a Path to the Peak into play and they're not going to bump it. So I don't want to, Ditto V just does not seem like it works. We just go for, you know, let's hope we don't prize the pieces that we need in the games when we need it. This is also a deck where I'm not expecting consistency. You know, I'm not expecting consistency out of this deck. I was saying on stream the other night that I think this is the kind of list that I would love to have a best 2 out of 3 event for, because I can just take one game where I draw like absolute garbage and just scoop up and go to the next game, or in a game where I prize the one Urshifu VMAX and it's necessary for the matchup, so we just scoop and go to the next game. Whereas you don't really get to do that in best of 1, obviously. So opponent's just going to Dream Gift and that's it. And we got a lot of mulligans, so that's great. So the opponent attached Dark Active, Dream Gift. Now this is rough because it's almost a mirror match and they're getting to go first, so they will in theory take the first knockout. That energy drop was bad. Like, it's not even bad for them to not get a bench down, because just having that energy drop is huge for them. So Great Ball first before the Quick Ball, before the Capture Energy, because we want to make that the Quick Ball decision using the information that we get from the Great Ball. So Great Ball could get us what we want from Quick Ball, and then we can go for our second choice off the Quick Ball instead of the Great Ball. So Great Ball getting the Octillery is something we can use later. I Quick Ball away this Rapid Strike energy to get a Blaziken, because I'm going to end up attaching Capture Energies anyway. But I think this is actually a misplay here. So I Quick Ball away the Capture, I Quick Ball away the Rapid Energy instead of the Capture Energy. Like I said, my reasoning for this is that I'm going to capture to Blaziken anyway, and then next turn capture again. But getting rid of the Rapid Strike energy removes the possibility of me attaching Capture Active to Minccino to capture out something, and then next turn attaching Rapid to Blaziken, or keeping the Rapid to potentially even attach to something else. So I think actually the play might have been Quick Ball for a Sylveon, but get rid of the Capture Energy and capture to Sylveon for the Blaziken, and then let them knock out this Minccino, and then next turn I bring up the Sylveon attach and get a 220 hit in on that. But I don't think this is a huge mistake, but I think I was like 100% on this play when there were definitely other options. So then I capture energy here, Blaziken, and I get the Remoraid. So this is another reason why, like, I'm getting, maybe it's not. No, this is actually a reason to, So I have Bird Keeper for next turn. I'm likely losing the Minccino. Okay, and I'm gonna Bird Keeper here. I didn't play a supporter yet, so that's actually, so my misplay actually goes back to like turn 0. Let's review. No, it doesn't. Okay, if I had started with the Bird Keeper in hand, I should have put Zeraora active, but I actually drew into it off the mulligan, so that's a different story. So here, what I think I'm gonna do, like, I'm trying to get value off of this Bird Keeper, but I think it's just better to not play the Bird Keeper. Okay. Yo, what's up, On Guard? What's up, Amateur? Have I done anything else with Objective Deck? No, I'm very lazy and forgetful, and I should be uploading my logs to it, and I'm not, but I should. Yeah, that's another good point, Hot Dogio. Capture active plays around Marnie better, because if they Marnie and don't knock me out, then I have that to get to retreat Minccino. So they'll be easily knocking out the Minccino here. Yeah, and we got Marnie, but the Minccino gets knocked out, so we'll be fine. But so now we're gonna, but the Minccino gets knocked out and we draw into Cinccino, and the artillery we had is now at the bottom of the deck. So that Marnie ends up being rough. Path to the Peak doesn't help us. We need artillery here, and we do get artillery, even though the second one's at the bottom of the deck, so that helps us a lot. So we probably go for Corinna here, I think. Like, evolve, Path of the Peak, potentially even play down Remoraid to get an extra card from Corinna. Because, like, just grabbing Spiral or Rapid Strike doesn't get us anywhere. That's just not a good enough play. So I have to go for the greedy stuff. But benching that extra Remoraid's going to cost me a bench space, which is so crucial in this deck that I think I should have just drawn 4 off of this, but I whiffed the energy anyway. So I took the risky play. It does not pay off, but I'd rather take the risky play and have it not pay off than just take attaching that energy to Blaziken, do 130, accelerate an energy to Zeraora. I don't even have a knockout condition on the Sylveon next turn. Like, that just sucks every time. So I'd rather just take this this play, because here at least if they just swing into my Blaziken, then I Cheryl and then I artillery for an energy and I basically waste an attack of theirs. And you know, it's almost like what I would have done if I had attacked last turn, but here at least I drew more cards, and now I have a Marnie for the turn following the Cheryl, which is also good. Yeah, correct. Exactly. But I articulate this because a lot of people do play to lose and they don't realize it. A lot of people take the safer route, and they'll take a safe attachment just to take and just to like be like, okay, so here I get 150 damage in, right? If I do this play. So I don't want to like research my hand away and maybe I don't even get the energy I wanted and then the play doesn't work out. But some people just take that that conservative losing route to get some damage on the board, but not really think 5 turns ahead and say, well, this never pays off. This never gets me to a win condition. And that's what all the repetition and practicing and theorying does for you, and conceptualizing matchups helps you simulate the turns in your head and see, will this actually end up putting me into a win condition? And I felt like just Octillery for Spiral Energy attach active does not help me get to a win condition. So that's why I went for Corinna, because I felt I needed to get a Sylveon down and an energy, attach active, accelerate to a Sylveon. I'll do 130 active, and then next turn I can do 190 because I'll still have 4 energy on, I'll still have 4 types on the bench, and so I can get the knockout with Sylveon in the following turn if those things worked out how I wanted them to. So they just max Harmony. So we have the Cheryl play Octillery for Rapid Strike. There's a boss, which we are definitely not playing. We can also Evolution Incense just to thin out the deck, potentially. Like Evolution, I wouldn't hate to see me Evolution Incense for a Sylveon VMAX here. But I don't know if I end up doing that. Oh, so you might see me like drawing little circles around cards and right-clicking on cards that I definitely know what they do. My friend who's getting back in the game was watching me play, so I was basically teaching him what all the cards do as I played. So I was coaching somebody else on my game, so don't get me DQ'd for that one. Your friend was coaching. Just turn it all around, Trendy. No, he was so my friend was like, oh, that's busted, you can just Evolution Incense for Octillery and get your Sylveon. I was like, no, you can only use one Octillery a turn. That's what I was explaining. No scoop up in the deck. The Remoraid was only played down because I wanted to draw more cards with Corinna, and I knew 220 would not matter. 220 with Sylveon does not matter in this matchup. I'm fine with just hitting 190 max. So we top deck the Sylveon. So I think the play here, you guys can tell me what, if you think you see anything that I should do. I think what I do here, because I don't remember, this was almost a week ago. I can't remember back that far to what I actually did. I think what I should do here, I can't like dig for a Cheryl or anything. Oh, if I had Chinchinos and I could dig for a Cheryl here, it'd be game over. But I think I Octillery for Spiral, attached to Zeraora. Retreat, boss up their Sylveon, and hit active Sylveon for a hundo, and knock out the benched Sylveon due to Passimian. It just leaves me one energy attachment off of actually being able to win because Sylveon needs 2 energy attachments still. My Sylveon still needs 2 energy attachments. So I think that's what I do here. I might end up bringing up the Blaziken, but I think I boss up the other Sylveon. Here's me explaining to my friend what it does again. Yeah, so we're going to Rapid Strike for Spiral. I don't really care about Badge because I play... Wait, I'm going for Marnie? Wait. No, Boss Sylveon. Boss the Sylveon. Boss the Sylveon. Boss the Sylveon. Do it. Come on. I can't believe I'm not going to boss the Sylveon. Okay, I am. I don't care about the ribbon badge because I play 2-tool jammer. Please boss the Sylveon. Do it. Okay. Whew. That was about to be embarrassing. And here we'll thin out the Sylveon VMAX, which I considered doing last turn. But we top decked Sylveon, so it actually paid off not to. Yeah, ribbon badge works on the bench, I think. Yeah, my friend probably told me to do that. My mom ran up the steps. She was like, Luke, there's a disturbance in the force. I think you're about to, I think you're about to Marty. You should definitely boss. Okay, so here's actually where I would want 220 with Sylveon, but it also doesn't matter because I don't have energy on Sylveon yet anyway, so they just need to bench one Pokemon that's a different type here to get the knockout on Zeraora. If they didn't get the knockout on Zeraora here, I'm pretty sure I just win, but they do get it. And now this is just pretty bad. I send that up because I have Bird Keeper. If I hit Cheryl, then we're happy because I Cheryl Rapid Strike energy and I never lose from there. We don't hit Cheryl, so that's just bad. So we put Cheryl Boss back in with Palpad. There's the Cheryl that I needed. Well, yeah, it wasn't one card away. I just Palpatted it in, so I shouldn't make it seem like it was one card away. But yeah, so here I just thin myself of that Octillery. Like if I get Marnie, like I don't need that Octillery. Yeah, but here I'm kind of playing like I know if they just have boss, they win. There's nothing that Dream Gift or Magical Gift, whatever it's called, could get me. So I just evolve now. And if they have boss, they win. Yeah, and there's boss's orders. So that's how round one went. Why did you lose? Let's see. That's a good question. So I didn't lose because of any. Let's see. Did I lose because of any of this? No, I didn't lose because of any of this because I had to capture energy for the Remoraid. I don't think it's ever correct to not capture energy for the Remoraid. The game could have went differently if I Great Balled into Remoraid instead of Octillery, but Remoraid wasn't an option there. So I think I had to attach Capture. If I attach Capture active, it doesn't matter because the active ends up getting knocked out anyway. Off of the Corinna, I don't get an energy, I don't get a Sylveon. Those were both big whiffs. They also went first and they got a knockout turn 2. I think it's like I drew like averagely for my deck, I guess. We both drew like pretty average, but they went first and didn't miss a beat. So that I'd probably say that's why. Like they went first and didn't miss a beat, and I didn't draw exceptionally well to outdo them going first in the mirror match. Okay, we have another mirror match here, or mirror-ish match, I guess. So starting Blaziken, bench Sylveon. We whiff energy here going first, which is very bad. Benching benching 2 Sylveons is pretty good because when Sylveon's in the active, you still want a psychic type on the bench. And there's even some times where like you evolved your Sylveon VMAX, but you still want a Dream Gift. But a lot of times, Dream Gift isn't even that great in this deck. Like, if there was a way to get special energy with an item, like an energy lotto or something like that, then that would actually be great. I have considered 1 Pokegear in this deck just to Dream Gift for it. We get Great Ball instead of Evolution Incense because we'll just see whatever we can Great Ball for next turn. And that, you know, makes our next Quick Ball or Evolution Incense better informed after we get something at random with the Great Ball. I do only play 2 Evolution Incense, so I don't want to grab an Evolution Incense and use that when I'm going to Marnie anyway. No level balls? Yeah, no level balls. Because there are games where you can just not have your support Pokemon down and function, like against Urshifu or Jolteon. And I have 4 capture energy, so... Or no, do I have 4 capture? I think I have 4 capture. Yeah, I have 4 capture. Like 4 capture, 4 quick, 4 great, 2 evolution. It's a lot of Pokemon search. So they also whip energy on turn 1, which is great. Everything's basically balanced out now. Great Ball into the Blaziken VMAX. Play Path to the Peak since I'm done with abilities now for the game. And then Marnie. And like I said, I don't really need Tower of Waters. I don't care about hard retreating. Go ahead and Great Ball. We hit Chinchino, which is beautiful. We can also discard a capture energy there because of it. And then we can attach Rapid Active and then Max Blaze energy onto a Sylveon, and everything is just going great now. Like, that's all we really need. Get Chinchino, discard an energy. We have another Minchino down. We're happy about that. I believe this deck is playing Ribbon Badge, so Tool Jammers are good. And then we just get a capture on something, because we only have 1 energy, so we just click 1 Sylveon. Now, if that Minchino, we much would have rather had it have been an a Remoraid, but could just end up drawing us an extra 2 cards at some point, so that's good too. Okay, and the opponent has a pretty poor turn. Note that bumping the Tower of Waters actually hurt them because they're not able to Dream Gift, and they're also not able to free retreat into Urshifu. So we're just going to get a knockout on their active Blaziken. And there's no reason for me to Bird Keeper here because I just want to take this knockout. Yeah, same matchup again. 220 for Sylveon could matter if we end up wanting to knock out a Moltres that has not attacked yet, but typically it's not going to matter. So the extra Chinchino is fine. Like, most of the time we don't need 220 with Sylveon. The only time we need 220 with Sylveon is against Suicune. Now, I benched a third Minccino here. I'm pretty sure that's incorrect. Yeah, that's definitely wrong. There's no world in which I do that. So let's rewind that turn there. Did I assume they were going to rapid flow them? Yeah, actually, that's potentially why I did that. That makes sense. So I rapid strike here. I bird keeper into that, and then I end up getting the rapid strike energy. I think that bird keeper was greedy though. I don't think I needed to do that. I discard the rapid energy and retreat. So yeah, here the question would be, is there a reason to discard the rapid energy instead of just keep it in hand to attach or attach it to one Sylveon? Yes, the reason why I put it into the discard was to spread out my energy to both Sylveon. That way, if they rapid flow a Chinchino and a Sylveon V, I have my energy spread out one to each Sylveon, and then next turn I can attach to either one of them. Whereas if I put them both on one Sylveon or just attach to one Sylveon, keep the other in hand, not only does that risk a Marnie, but it also risks them rapid flowing into that one Sylveon that my only Sylveon with energy on it is now damaged. So that's why I did that. Answering the question of why discard the rapid to then accelerate it. And yeah, it's not really putting a target on my Sylveon's back. It's more that it's just like a general idea of spreading out your energy amongst your attackers so they're each one energy attachment away from attacking, if possible. Unless it just secures the game to have it fully powered up, then do that. But I wanted to have them an energy attachment away from attacking each, so whichever one they damage, I can just evolve the other one and go in with that. So here's Gmax Rapid Flow, seeing what they do with that, and they do take out double Chinchino. Luckily, I did draw into a Spiral Energy off of the prizes. Simeon's good because it's another type, so I do only need 4 types on the bench to knock out Urshifu, so I'm already there. Yeah, I have Psychic Fire fighting normal. And I can even just get a Remoraid with the Quick Ball. So I'm going to try to empty my hand here to Karina up to try to get the Sylveon VMAX off the Karina. And I have to bench things here. So I probably Quick Ball for Remoraid, and then I bench the Passimian. Or a Quick Ball for nothing, and I bench Blaziken and Passimian. But this gets me the guaranteed Remoraid next turn. The guaranteed Octillery next turn, so I guess it's just safer to do this. So I think Rapid Flow Chinchinos was their best play. Well, they have a very small hand. They don't really have options. They need to take prizes to draw out of this. That's how I look at this. We get Chinchino, but not Sylveon. And then we get Evolution Incense, so we can get the Sylveon. And then from there, that's just going to be game. I think we're just way too far ahead. I think they might just scoop here. I forget. Yeah, and I ended up winning. Yeah, if I didn't bench that Minchino, then I wouldn't have ended up getting the Sylveon. So I benched the Minchino to expect the Rapid Flow to happen. And I believe my opponent draws really badly this game. Yeah, my opponent like doesn't do anything in this game, so we're just gonna skip through it. Okay, so this one this game basically shows why I built the deck. It just destroys the Zacian Zamazenta deck. Like there's no hope. Turbo Shadow. It's probably more consistent, and I definitely think it's good. But it's marginally worse versus dark decks. So I'm still a fan of Shadow Rider Alchemy. So here was a pretty simple thing. We just quick ball for the Blaze, attach Rapid, Dream Gift for a quick ball. We have Chinchino. Our opponent did not get a 2 to 3 energy Zacian start, so our Minchino is probably safe. But if they switch knock out the Minchino, then we do have Blaziken Tool Jammer to return and knock it on Zacian. If they have switch Boss, however, and knock out our Blaziken, it is bad news bears, but they have Marnie in hand, so they're not going to switch Saucer attach Boss. But the attachment to the active Zamazenta, I believe, was terrible. They could have just not been mindful of my deck list that I'm very well prepared for Zamazenta. They need to just chase down my Zacian. Also, the attachment to the active Zacian, active Zamazenta also means they can attach retreat next turn, so maybe it's not as bad as I think. But I do have bench Blaziken, attach Blaziken, Path of the Peak Marnie. Or, oh no. Actually, hang on. No. I'm misspeaking. You definitely don't attach Blaziken there, because you Marnie capture energy to Minchino. I'm playing no balloon, no switch. So yeah, my play in the moment was definitely good. When was this tournament? Last Tuesday. Sunny's weekly. He holds it every Tuesday evening. So yeah, Marnie without attaching, 100% correct. And I get what I needed. So from here, it's just going to be a steamroll. We attach active and get either a Remoraid or a Minchino. I go for Remoraid. I think that's fine. I have Evolution Incense, which could get me a Minchino, but I think I could also, depending on if I have energy in the discard, I could just wait to get a Remoraid next turn, but I think I'm going to be greedy and get the Chinchino now, discard the Rapid Energy, accelerate it to the bench Blaziken. And I get another Rapid Strike Energy. Beautiful. And this game's already over. We go Rapid to Blaziken. and captured a Sylveon, even though we're hardly ever going to use Sylveon. All we used it for this game was the Dream Gift. That was enough. We never evolve into Sylveon unless it's winning us the game, because it's weak to Zacian and Zamazenta. And like I was saying at the beginning, I built this deck with Zacian Zamazenta in mind. The deck is just so easy to counter. I'm expecting to run into a lot of Zacian Zamazenta, just, you know, play a single attachment that one-shots both of them. With the help of Path to the Peak Tool Jammer, I thought it made sense. Dream Gift better than Leafeon's ability? No, Leafeon's ability is better. 100% better, actually. Yeah, no questions asked, because Leafeon breaks a rule, which is it attaches an extra energy for you. Whereas Sylveon gets you an item card, and then you might just get Marnied anyway. Yeah, so Leafeon's better. Love with Flareon V, I love gambling. Well, that makes sense then. Yeah, Flareon V is definitely a gamble. So, my opponent is misplaying here by benching a Zacian, because they could have made it hard for me by having a caped Zamazenta and a caped Zacian, because then I'll need Tool Jammer on both of the things to take care of them. And if they have Tool Scrapper, they can get rid of a Jammer as well, so they definitely shouldn't bench the Zacian that they're about to bench. Oh, they didn't bench it. I guess they bench it next turn. Yeah, so they couldn't bring up Zamazenta or Zacian, right? I Great Ball before Chinchino because I want to thin the deck to try to get a boss, but they can't just bring up Zamazenta or Zacian when they know when I have Path to the Peak in play. If they bring up Zamazenta, they hit me for 130, they discard the energy, and then I do need a Tool Jammer to knock it out, but I don't think they want to risk that. Hey, what's up, Sonny? We're watching gameplay of mine from your tournament last week because I didn't stream it. Of course you had a tournament. What do you mean? You have a tournament every Tuesday. The Sonny's Games Extravaganza. And I get a modest 5-1 in them, and then we all go home happy. Last night was insane. Was it a special streamy occasion? Yo, good night, Poke Streamer. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'm getting pretty tired myself. So they bump the path, they assault tackle us, but little do they know, we've got the absolute juice in our hand. A raid with 244 rats, nice. That's sick. I was in your stream for a bit yesterday, but I didn't say anything. I don't like talking a lot when I'm in streams, because, like, I don't like taking the attention off of a streamer if, like, other people, like, want to talk to me because I'm also a streamer. So sometimes when I'm watching Friends, I just don't say anything in chat. I was in there, but I wasn't there when you got raided. And I mean that as like modestly as I can. Like, I don't think I'm worth taking the attention off of the actual person we're watching, which is why I don't like talking a lot of the time. Like, I'm just another guy on a webcam, you know? That's what we're all doing in this crazy world. So yeah, there's not a lot to analyze here. I just have the absolute nuts. Like, Jammer, Path of the Peak, 130, and they just do nothing. Like, it just dismantling the establishment, as I like to say. So yeah, this is just like the freest thing this deck can come up against. It's why I built the deck, like I said, and there's the scoop. Let's see, does this end up being a good match? I don't know if this ends up being a good match. Let's see. We can at least watch it for my plays. Okay, so I'm going first. I don't want to bench the Zera Aura. I don't want to bench it because I'm playing against her Shifu, so no reason to. Grab our Sylveon, make sure Sylveon VMAX is the deck. We do have one Sylveon VMAX prize, which we take a peek at there. Going first is great because our Remoraid's and Minchina will live for at least one turn. And then a Dream Gift for Evo Incense to guarantee that we get exactly what we want. Which, depending on the top deck, could be a Remoraid or a Chinchino, or even maybe Blaziken VMAX, but we whiff Energy Attachment, and that's a big deal. Which we do play 10 Energy. Yeah, we play 10 Energy in this list. And whiffing Energy is a big deal. There are times when I want to play Crobat in the deck, but I also don't want to play Crobat in the deck. But I also mentioned that there's times I want to play Pokegear in the deck just so I can Dream Gift for a Pokegear. Just one Pokegear for the Dream Gifting. For when I have a bad hand, but I do have Sylveon. Yeah, I am whiffing turn 1 energy a lot. Even though I'm playing 10, which 10 is 1 out of every 6 cards, so on average I should see an energy, but and there's really no good way to fix that. You can't really search turn 1 energy with anything. You have to wait a turn to evolve an Octillery. There's no energy lotto. I think playing more than 10 energy in this deck would just not give me the space I need for other things. So I know I want to try to play Birdkeeper, I think, this turn. Or maybe I don't even care about Birdkeeper. I might just check their list here to see if they play Crobat and then Path Marnie. Celebi Shining Fates, true. I'm not playing Air Balloon or Switch in this deck, though, so I wouldn't play that here, but you got me, Netherius. There is a good way to do it. Am I doing the Open tomorrow? I'm not sure, because I'm trying to work on other things. But yeah, good shout there, Netherius. My mom signed up for the Open, but I don't think I'm going to play. I just don't have the ambition to play. I'm trying to work on filming some B-roll stuff for like some beginner-based content. I do like Celebi. I tested it in Rapid Strike Urshifu when Battle Styles was just coming out. I think it's a cool card. Yeah, I agree, Derek. So here we see that I got no energy, no Sylveon VMAX. And we just have to get the evolution incense to try to guarantee stuff happening next turn. So I could just get obliterated next turn. Like rapid flow both of my Minccino. They don't know it, but that would be horrible for me because I do have another Cinccino in hand. Yeah, and it's not even the deck being clunky. Like, I'm playing draw supporters and I'm drawing cards with Cinccino and I'm just not hitting energy. Like, it's just unlucky here. Oh, so I do want to say, I think something was a misplay earlier. Okay. So here, so we could always say it's a bad draw or it's unlucky, but I also think I did something a little peculiar here. I don't think I should have evolution incensed for Cinccino. I was being greedy. I went for Cinccino to try to get Birdkeeper into Blaziken to attack or something. I think that's why I did it anyway. And I should have evolution instance for Remoraid, even though I know it's out in the active and it'll probably get knocked out, to guarantee search out the Rapid Strike energy if I don't get it off of Marnie. So I think I might have messed up by not evolution incense. I think evolution incense for Octillery is the correct play there, which I did not do. I was greedy for no reason. Because Birdkeeper into Blaziken into knockout, like even if I get all of that, which I'm not, I'm never hitting all of that. Excuse me. I don't think even what I was greeting for was even worth it. So I'll get Marnie here. I lose that evolution incense. Yeah, so I think I was, yeah, it's just a misplay. I think we should just label that as objectively a misplay. I should have went for Octillery, get the Rapid Strike energy. Well, not get the Rapid Strike energy. What I should have done was get the Octillery. Actually, I need to also go back and look at, okay. So I should have got the Octillery and then Marnie, and then from there see what I need. Because if I hit the energy, I can just get Sylveon VMAX. If I get Sylveon VMAX, I can get the energy. So they end up whiffing a switch out. They don't get Scoop Up Net. They had to evolve the active because the other Sobble wasn't down, so Tower of Waters wouldn't have been an out. But I think my opponent has a misplay here. No, they don't. Okay. They were fine, so they just whiff what they need. Now we go into the Octillery off of the Marnie. But there's no reason to search anything out with Octillery until we've already done our make do. We don't have a supporter we're using for turn yet. We're going to make do, see what we get off of that, and then decide what we're searching with the Octillery. We get a Great Ball, we'll always play that first before the Octillery. Because we see what we get off of it, and we get a Cinccino, then we can play that before the Octillery, see what we get off of that to better inform our future decisions where we get to choose what we get. So the Nishino gets us another Rapid Strike Energy and a Path to the Peak. At this point, I would probably go and play Limitless, see if my opponent's playing, see if my opponent is playing Crobat. So this Remoraid's, I have to assume that Remoraid's getting knocked out eventually, so I'll just Rapid Strike Tower and get some sort of value out of it. Probably grabbing myself a Sylveon VMAX and potentially holding it in the hand, since I do only have one, and if it gets damaged, I want to go into the other. I get a Blaziken VMAX instead, though. I definitely have to attach a Sylveon here, because Blaziken's always one energy attachment away from attacking. I attached a Blaziken. Yeah, I was out of my gourd here. Okay, there's a lot of bad things here. I absolutely went off the rails this turn. Oh. I attached a Blaziken. We're back on that. So my opponent has Passimian. They have Urshifu VMAX with a Rapid Strike Energy. They can evolve that Drizzile into Rapid Strike Inteleon next turn. That's a knockout on Sylveon VMAX. If they draw on the Telescopic Sight, they're actually knocking out both of my Sylveon Vs. Not Sylveon VMAX. Yeah, it knocks out Sylveon V. So they can actually knock out both of my Sylveon Vs. But that's just more reason for me to search out my Sylveon VMAX, evolve that, attached to it. That's the play there. The play is search out Sylveon VMAX, attach Rapid Strike Energy to it, evolve Sylveon V into VMAX, pass. That's the play there. Not whatever it is that I did. I got the chicken, I attached to the chicken. It was incorrect. Hey, what's up, King Darmaka? Greetings, thank you for the follow. And I do put the jammer active to prevent the Telescopic Sight thing from happening. Because I checked their list on Play Limitless, they are playing Telescopic Sight. So I end up putting the jammer on. And they're stuck there. So we get lucky as a flippin' duck. We're going to make do away the path because we're never going to need it against them. So I didn't have the types. No, I did have the types. So all I need is 4 types on bench. So I had Fire, Water, Colorless, Psychic. So that one shots Urshi. Yeah, I think it was just bad. And here I'm just thinning the deck. I'm just building up a hand, getting whatever I can have in it. And I think I have to evolve a Sylveon to avoid that Telescopic Sight play that I was mentioning. I have to evolve it. Yeah, there we go. I kind of avoided it last turn because I had Tool Jammer. But now I don't have Tool Jammer anymore. Big Hand gets Marnied. But now, like, they whiffed for too many turns, and my Sylveon's just ready to go. They really can't do anything about it. Yeah, that's what I always say, Derek. Misplay less than your opponent. Nobody's expected to play perfectly. Yeah, Capture Energy is one of the best cards of the format. Capture Energy got me so pumped to play post-rotation, because when I started testing, I realized, like, wow, this is, like, I just want to play decks that can have Capture Energy in them. Like, I wanted to play Leafeon instead of Ice Rider, because Leafeon could comfortably play 4 Capture Energies and Ice Rider couldn't. So there's the site, but it matters less now because they whiffed last turn's attack, and last turn I had the Tool Jammer active anyway, so even if they didn't dead draw, they needed an escape rope. And if they escape rope, that would have sent up Sylveon, so that Sylveon V wouldn't take the extra damage in the active. Vaporeon Jolteon, no, it's too much setup, because they both need pre-existing damage to be there. Just play Vaporeon with Zeraora, and just play Jolteon with other stuff, I'd say. So they knock out Octillery Cinccino, and still need to take 4 prizes to win. So, here, would I have ever knocked out Sylveon Octillery, and then they only need 3 prizes to win? Because if they attached Telescopic Sight active, they could have knocked out my benched Sylveon. Or they could have just... Yeah, they could have knocked it out with a ping from Inteleon. I think knock out Sylveon Octillery, and then hope that I can't get down 2 more types to the bench. That was the play. I think you knock out Sylveon Octillery, you get an extra prize, and you also hope that your opponent doesn't have 2 more types of Pokemon to put down to the bench. Because they'd be knocking out my only other Sylveon that I have, since I only play a 2-2 line. And I do believe I just got Marnied as well, so, like, they could just stop me from knocking out their Urshi. But in this case, I only need 1 more type. I don't have a reason to play Marnie, so I might just Cheryl 40 damage here. And then Tool Jammer active. Let's see what I do. Or I can Tool Jammer active and then Marnie, which is also fine. Or I'll just play neither of those supporters. I didn't want to Marnie and give them more stuff because they've been struggling most of the game. But I guess hold Cheryl, so that if they Rapid Flow active, then Blaziken, I just Cheryl and then I never lose. But I also think I just never lose from this position. Yo, Tri-State, what's up, what's up? Oh, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, mathematically impossible to lose from this position. I have checked the statistics. I could disconnect. I could disconnect, right? Yeah, maybe I have a computer search. Poor fan of waves. Yes. Actually, no, 4 crushing hammer. Like 4 crushing hammer here, that would be like 4 fan of waves wouldn't even be that brutal. Oh, yo, Tri-State, you're on the Rapid Strike box. You're on that move. I like it. I'm in this variant of the list, just 3 Path to the Peak in the video that we are reviewing right now from last week. But so I played this last Tuesday, and then last Wednesday I switched to a 1/1 Urshi line in the deck, and I also added a Tower of Waters because of the Urshi. There was a play that I was explaining earlier on why I played the 1 tower, but in this list I play 3 Bird Keeper and no other retreat outs. Hey, what's up, Breezy? What's cracking? So there's scrap, but we just win anyway, I think. So the scrap means they can take care of the benched Sylveon. But then we just need to... Actually, no, they have an out to win here. They knock out the benched Sylveon. Oh, no, they don't knock out the benched Sylveon. They didn't ping it. They don't have the ping. Oh, so that's just game. Yeah, that's just game. So we're just watching. So I'm not playing right now. No hands. We're watching games that I recorded during tournaments last week. So they're rapid strike flowing. And I need to bench 2 things. So I just need to bench a Minccino. And then bench Zeraora. Or I could just attack and then attack. Sword and Shield Evolving Skies is good. It is a solid playable format of Pokemon trading card game. Yeah, I might just attack, not even Marnie. I can put down the... Oh, I do Marnie here. I just go for the win. Oh, I got Capture Energy. Does that just win the game? I don't think Capture Energy wins the game, but putting down the Minccino doesn't hurt, does it? And I can't get Zeraora, the second Zeraora's prize. So yeah, the reason, let's see. So is there a reason why I didn't just hold the hand with Cheryl? So I Marnie swing. If I swing, they retreat into something. I don't know, maybe somehow get a turn. But like, I didn't have a boss in my hand, but I think I still end up winning. So I could have just held on to that hand. I don't think I needed the Marnie. And here my opponent's just saying that they're game bugged and they couldn't search my discard. Yeah, it was. I agree. It was winnable for them if they KO'd my benched Sylveon. But they didn't get the Chilling Reign and Teleon. They used so if they had that in Teleon last turn, then yeah. I think it was winnable for them. And we missed just by 10 damage. We can't win with the fling. We discarded, yeah, we discard Passimian, we discard Double Zero Aura. But they can't leave this Urshifu in the active, so it just comes down to me getting boss. But if they could retreat attach, or switch attach, they could stall it out and win. I don't think I drew into my second Sylveon VMAX out of the prizes. But also note that my benching the Minccino really didn't matter. Oh, guys, hang on, wait. I think this is an insane game. I forgot what ends up happening here. Hold on to your horses. I also misplay. There's a misplay coming up. So they ping my bench Sylveon, they attach telescopic sight to Passimian, and they fling 80. They put on, so Sylveon V is at 100 damage here. So, in theory, my other Sylveon VMAX, I forget if we took it off the prizes at this point. But in theory, they win next turn with a fling. Because if I knock this out, then they, in theory, could Raihan and win. So, let's see how this plays out. So, Marnie. And I have Spiral Energy. So we go for Precious Touch here. I have no bosses in the discard. So Palpad doesn't help me. But here's the thing. I have a boss in the prizes. So I could knock this out for a 1 in 3 shot of getting a boss. And hope they don't have Raihan. Or I can Precious Touch and hope to draw into a boss, knowing that the bottom like 5 cards are not boss and there's one in the deck. But hitting into it is not just a 1 in 3 shot, it's a 1 in 3 shot, and then I also need them to not have Raihan. So I Precious Touch. I can go back and check, hang on. Let's see what they played. Oh, they only played one Raihan. They do play Scoop Up Net, but wait, they only played one Raihan. So this was all incorrect. Chad, did you say we already saw a Raihan from them here, this game? Yeah, then I misplayed. Okay, yeah, and this was a misplay. Oh, wait, no, I guess not. Because they could just switch energy boss. And they can't do that if I don't heal. So maybe not. Because I was also thinking about switch energy boss. Maybe I knew that the Raihan was down. Because I don't lose the switch energy boss in this case if I keep healing with Precious Touch. But yeah, I should have... So, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, retreat. So yeah, just energy boss would also get them to win if I don't heal. Okay, so here... I do something really stupid. I pal pad before the Bird Keeper. And I don't know why. Wait, maybe I do know why. Did I Marnie energy to the bottom? 20537. Yeah, I did. Right? I Marnie does capture energy to the bottom, so I might have pal padded just to shuffle up the deck. So I can shuffle that energy because I need a Bird Keeper into energy to then Precious Touch again to keep stalling. That might be why I pal padded. Or it could just be a misplay. So yeah, I pal pad here, just a Marnie. And then I Bird Keeper into this. And I get boss and an energy. So I can retreat Precious Touch. And now this is my only boss. Remember, the other one's in the prizes. So then I Precious Touch again, and then if they don't Marnie me, I win. I need to go back and see why that energy's on their Inteleon. Oh, wait. So, the energy was on their Inteleon, on the Chilling Reign Inteleon, because they had an energy attachment. I think they put it down as an energy attachment because they already had 3 energy on their Rapid Strike Urshifu, which they were going to Rapid Flow with. So they put energy elsewhere. Potentially thinking of using it as an attacker versus Blaziken, but if they could have attached last turn to Rapid Strike Urshi, then they could this turn search out Rapid Energy to win with Rapid Flow. So it was contingent on them not getting an energy attachment last turn. And then they just ping fling, the old ping fling for the 3rd time in a row. And then we boss them. They had 12 cards in deck. So I'm not sure that game was completely clean from either player. They definitely had some rough goes, though. And, well, they got stuck in the active, and I kept whiffing energy, so I guess it was almost even. Like, we both had some pretty rough stuff.